God. What? Oh, hang on a second, people. I've just got to get this sorted. There's something not right here. I've just had another... Oh, everything's gone wrong again. God. Okay, so are we good? Okay. Oh, it's working. Are we good? Okay. Oh, it's working. Hey, Dan. Now, like all good streaming horror stories, and I've had my fair share, we hooked that fish and it was a lot bigger than I expected. See, the hook, it's been bent out. So naturally, I lost it. Okay, time to put a new hook on, famo. Mark, how are you, bud? Daz, thanks, mate. I've had an absolutely disastrous day today, people. Everything that could have gone wrong today has, and it's continuing. But that's all right. That's my headache, not yours. Show's got to go on, doesn't it? Just give me a second, people. I'll just get this sorted. Yeah, I'd hate to bump into Murphy. Cal, I'd probably want to punch him in the face, mate. Like every other person on the planet. Good size fish. Pooh, it's a good size fish. Straight into the snags it went. My prediction is we're going to get it on the soft plastics, fam, because this is a big fish and it doesn't care. I don't think it fears anything, this bugger. So we'll go again. And notice how the hook gave out before the 15-pound mono. Oh, I hear you, Cal. I hear you. Okay, let me just grab another bit of bait and we'll go again, eh? But I think we're going to get it on soft plastics today. We'll see how we go, yeah? Rightio, so I need to change. Does this allow me to? All right, there we go. Right, so once again I'm going to bait up. Okay, so once again I'm going to target this little snag to the left of us here. I'm just going to bring that in a bit. Great. It's pretty deep there still. Sinker's on the bottom, so watch this fishing rod, famo. You tell me what it's going to do. Right. Okay. You should still be able to see that. All right, let's just chuck that down there. Okay, so that's the snag on the left there. That's the snag there. And that's the tip of the fishing rod there. Okay, so just watch what it does. Now I'll get this soft plastic sorted out because I want to try and catch this fish. They are a bit big. At least the phone's not cooking. Yet. That's better, just start recharging. Okay, now let's get these soft plastics sorted. Hey Pub Test, how are you, bud? Welcome, mate. Certainly are, Pub Test. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this little bugger around with a bit of bait. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and I'm going to catch it with a soft plastic probably. Okay. So, one of your best colours for brim fishing with soft plastics is the motor oil, right? This is also one of your most popular colours for mulloway as well, but I've got a few saltwater jigs in here for out in the ocean. Right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to tie this on with a loop knot and have a cast. Oh, raining still, that's not very good. All right, let me just put the laptop down there. Keep that off the dirt and junk. What happened there? Come on. That line's starting to straighten up, people, so that's going to hit in a minute. Excuse me for a second, I'm just going to have to sort out my two live streams at once. Well done, YouTube. Just give me a second, people. Oh, he's there? Yay, great work. Hang on. Oh, God. Hang on, people. Oh, God. Okay, well, it is what it is. I don't care anymore. I've had enough of it. Right, that's another bait that's gone. I think I need to get my old fishing rod out there, but that's all right, we'll see how we go. That's okay. All right, I've grabbed that. It's a bit further out than last time. Give the fish a bit of time to look at it. Okay, there we go. So that's over my shoulder, right? So it's straight down there. Now, God. See, this is the problem, people. There's no perfect streaming app, right? I've had to go to Stream Elements. They don't let you use the correct screen on the camera, okay? And then with Streamlabs, it loses connectivity and it ends up cutting out on its own anyway. So, you know, everybody says use Prism, but it's just, they're all just as bad as each other. Stream Elements cooks your phone, Prism cooks your phone, Streamlabs just rubbish, you know. And I'm hoping that someone one day can make a really simple app that works. You know, it would be quite nice. And I mean, there is another option, but if this doesn't work, I'm just going to have to go to the other option, I think, because this is ridiculous. I can't live stream and make content with this rubbish. So. That's way too heavy. Yep, you can tell school holidays are on. Hey there, Goonbag Pony. How are you, bud? Welcome, mate. Now, what I'm going to do is try and figure out how to get this to work. Okay, so, sorry. What I'm going to do now is, if there was a brim there, it might have shot off actually. So what I've done, I've got a really small rolling swivel there, okay? Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little loop knot. Loop knots are quite easy. A lot of people try and make them really hard. God knows why. But anyway, I don't think we're probably going to get that brim now on the bait because we've already scared it and tried to stick a hook in it. Went straight for a snag. It was a lot bigger fish than I thought. So what I'm going to do now is, let's do this loop knot. I might be coming back tomorrow morning, people. All right, so there's your soft plastic, there's your line. I've just tied a little granny knot in there, as you can see on the shirt, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to put that through the eye of the hook like so. Bring this right up to this granny knot that I've just tied, okay? Bring that in a bit closer again, like so. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back through the loop. Now, a lot of people make the mistake with loop knots. They'll pull the line towards the lure. Don't do that. Bring it back through here. Make sure that little loop that you did hitches over. Right. Great. And now what we're going to do is see if we can catch a brim on a soft plastic while we've got a bait in the water, okay? Okay, soft plastics is a bit different to bait fishing in the fact that you've got to be fairly active when you're retrieving and working the soft plastic, okay? So, with your soft plastic, what you want to do, okay, is I've got about, I'd say, 50 centimetres between my soft plastic and my swivel. You get your swivel as close to your rod tip as possible. Okay, first thing you do is, when you cast it out, let it sink to the bottom, okay? Get your drag right. I'm going to bring this right in past this snag where this fish was. So, there's no right or wrong way to retrieve soft plastics, but as long as you're catching fish, it's right, I guess, okay? Don't retrieve soft plastics like a lure, okay? So, bump, bump, wind down, stop. And the fish will usually hit it when it's on the drop. There we are. And as you can see, with a really nicely balanced rod and reel outfit, I can cast further with the soft plastic than I can really with the lure. I mean, we're only using a 3 gram jig head there, so. Once again, you've got to try and get it as close to the snag that you're fishing as possible. One thing you got to do with the soft plastic is you've got to make sure that you feel that tail on the soft plastic working, okay? All right, so that line's slackened off. Let's go closer. That's a pretty good cast. The reason why I've dropped my rod tip down is because this water here closest to us is shallow. If I lift it like that, see how the lure pops, or the soft plastic pops straight out of the water? That's quite deep out there. That soft plastic is still sinking. All right, it's just hit the bottom. Let's work out what. Thanks for that. Let's work our way around. And because I'm using such a small swivel, I haven't had any line twist yet, but we should be okay, you know. A lot of people prefer bait fishing because they can sit down and relax and all that. A lot of people like myself prefer lure fishing because you can get busy while you're fishing, you know. And it's just a nice active way to fish, you know what I mean? And while you've got a bait in the water, it just makes it really easy, you know. Leave the bait in there, which is there if there's a fish around, and then you may get a bonus fish with this. What I'm doing here with this soft plastic, it's a little bit like when they do a grid pattern to see if they can find something under the water. All I'm doing is just casting a little bit further to the right each time until I work my way around. lure. Pony, I've had a terrible day, mate. Seriously, I've just had a day there. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, mate. I've had the stream cut out twice. And yeah, all sorts of stuff, mate. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? That line just flicked up. Now, I haven't moved this line at all, right? I'm keeping the slack on the line. If there's a fish on the end, the moment it feels a bit of tension, it's going to let go. So let's see what's happening here. Come on. Come on. All right, we might have lost the bait there. Let's have a look. Okay. I'm just going to try over this other side now. All right, I'll just straighten that out a bit. I'm going to leave that in there. And what we'll do, okay, so one thing you've got to do too when you're using braid is make sure you check every cast that your braid hasn't wrapped around your rod tip, because it can do it quite easily. All right, so we're just going to leave that out over there. We're going to start fishing soft plastics in here now. Let's just bring this up a bit, like so. Right, yes, this is the wrong camera angle. Let's bring that back. No, same camera. Yeah, I don't think I'll be using this one again. Right. Now, with lures, people, what I think we might do is we've got a setting sun. It's going to make watching the stream quite difficult. I think what we're probably going to do is we're going to come back tomorrow morning early, like dawn, right? And what we'll do is we'll use a different streaming application, and with a different streaming application, we'll see how we go with that, okay? What I'll do is we'll just wait till this bait gets hit, or if we lose this bait, or if we can hook a fish on here. So let's have a look. That's better. Oh, I think I just saw a fish feeding over on the other side there. Get out of there. That's better. One thing that still astounds me nowadays is they don't make long cast spools in like smaller reels. I still can't figure that out, because if you had a long cast reel on, say, a 3,000 size spool, it'd be a much better option than what we have at the moment, you know. They've done it on the bigger ones, but they're still trying to catch up, you know. Oh, great. There goes my nice clean shirt. That's my line. Great. It's having one of those days. For some reason with this spot here, when we do get a bream, it's usually later in the day, like now. But the best time to fish at the moment, judging by the conditions and tides and that, is morning, so we'll have to come back, people. We're getting the tail end of the tide here as it's starting to head back out, so, oh, good one, Mr. Cormorant. Rightio. Motor oil doesn't work, we'll go to bloodworm. Okay, that's a much better cast. Oh. Hey Mad Beastie, how are you, bud? So, right, I'm going to slow this down a fair bit now. Ooh. Now that was a little bit of a bump, fam. Rightio, so what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to have 2 more casts with this soft plastic, and then I'm going to show you a few hard-bodied lures that work with Bream, okay? Rightio. Let's leave that there, catch up with chat. Yeah, I hooked a really good fish before, Beastie, but it was when the stream cut out and it bent the hook out. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow morning to try and get it. Maybe soft plastics aren't working today. Look, one thing you'll find with Bream, some days you'll catch more Bream on soft plastics than baits. Other days they won't go near a soft plastic, you have to use a bait. And then other days when they go off the soft plastics, you go to the hard-bodied lures, okay? So, oh, now that was a bite. That was a bite, okay? That was a bite. Not a very big fish, but it was a bite. Come on. That was a snag. First one was a bite though, so that snag is in fairly close. So that's where I lost it on the other one. I hooked it over there and there must be a snag in close. All right, let's go closer to this snag. Yeah, because I hit it and it stopped and it didn't move, and then I bumped it, nothing, and then on the second one it hit the snag. So there is something that must have dropped here in between last year. Come on. If we're going to get one on a soft plastic, it'll be with this cast, because this is probably the best cast I've done at this snag. Rightio. Okay, so let's take off this soft plastic. We'll put on a hard-bodied lure now. Okay, people, so with your soft plastics, okay, there's a variety of different, I mean, some people refer to them as hard baits. You need to fish what they call suspending type lures, okay? So shad is a term in America, right? So that's the atomic hards there, it's a suspending shad, right? That's another 40mm shad there that's got like a crayfish pattern on it, which is the same as the other lure. Now, my personal preference for Bream lures are the Xerex. Okay, these are a beautiful lure. I've used them a fair bit. That's the 50mm Tango shad, okay? And then on top of that, basically just use a variety of different colours, all in the sort of deep diving bibs and that sort of stuff, right? These are ones that have replaced ones that I've absolutely hammered previously, okay? And that's another atomic hards there. As you can see, they're usually smaller bait fish sizes, right? And that is a, what's that? That's a PX55 from Eco Gear, so that's meant to imitate a little prawn that's fleeing on the surface, okay? And that's what these are as well. Okay, these are actually really good for whiting. That's the lure that everyone bangs on about for whiting. But what we'll do is I'll tie one of these on. Actually, no, I won't. What I'll do is I'll go for the devil that we know. I'm going to try this tango shad and see how this goes. We need to have a little bit of distance in our cast, so we need a slightly bigger, slightly heavier lure, okay? So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to use the same setup for soft plastics as we are going to use for this little hard-bodied lure. Right, now with colours of lures, they're just a personal thing, okay? You just got to try out different colours until you find one that works in the conditions for you. The reason why I've gone for this lure today, it's a little bit darker than the other lures. Right, a little bit darker. It's got a bit of red on it, a little bit of black, a bit of gold. So, as silly as it sounds, even with fly fishing, there's a very famous fly called Sloan's sunset fly. Doesn't look like anything that swims, but in the afternoon when you've got the setting sun, anything with a bit of gold or orange in it tends to work well, okay? Rightio, let's see. So these are a suspending lure. So what'll happen is when you cast them out, right, they'll sink, and then the depth that you let them sink to, you retrieve at, they won't go above that depth. Very good for brim. So let's see how we go. That casts beautifully. Bit of snags in the water, but that's all right. Where there's snags, there's fish. Let's go again. That loop's way too big, but we'll figure it out. Same old story when you cast soft plastics too. More so hard-bodied lures than soft plastics. Grab your spool so it flicks the lure out. We're finding every single snag that's in the river at the moment, which usually happens at low tide, or the light tide that's leaving the waterway. Let's go again. Okay, that looks like a good depth. Now we get it there. You've got to make this lure work. So I don't know whether you can see the rod tip in the frame, but when you are retrieving, you've got to make the lure vibrate, okay? It's got little ball bearings in it, so when you retrieve it, they make a clatter so the fish can pick it up. Okay, looks good. Nice. We haven't been getting hits on the bait either, so. Oh, hello. I just saw, I could just swear that I just saw the flank of a really tall fish like that, just in here, just in that sunlight. So it was heading from that direction to that direction. So what we might do is we might take that bait out from here and cast back to that snag. Let me just go again. Could have sworn that was a brim. It's not going to hit that while it's got that on there. Hang on. Beautiful cast. These are very small lures, but they cast really well. This Abu Garcia Veritas PLX rod, beautifully balanced rod, and compared to other rods out there, actually quite affordable. So this one here I paid $165 for, I think. But some soft plastic rods are $1,000, you know. And with your soft plastics, you can work your brim lures with the same rod, you know. Now, come on, bud. Right, I'm just going to swap this bait over. Give me a second, because I could have sworn I saw that fish go from right to left. Let's see if there's one there. Hey, Rich and Leo, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Right. Let's see if this brim is out here on the left again. Yeah, that'll do actually. That's a good cast there. I'm going to set this drag pretty tight, because if it is the size of fish that I thought it was, it's definitely not a lightweight, you know. Right, there's 3 snags on the left here. I've got this sitting right in the middle of the 3 of them. But I think they would have gone off the bite after the tide change anyway. How's your day going there, Rich and Leo? So if you like your bait fishing and you want to keep yourself occupied while your baits are in the water, just get yourself a soft plastic outfit famo like this, and then that way you can also cast around your baits and all sorts of stuff. Thought I missed that. Yeah, look. I didn't slice the line, did I? No, all good. Let's go to the right here. All good fun. River's still quite full, but it is dropping. That's a beautiful lure in the water. Look at that swim beautifully. And as I said to you people, don't get into the habit of trying to buy 2 different fishing rods every year. Just learn to use what you've got and just work from there. Beautiful. That's probably why there's no brim over that side, because of the size of that cormorant that just took off like a fighter plane. Yeah, these suspending lures are really good because what they'll do is when you stop retrieving it, it won't float to the surface or drop to the bottom. It'll just stay at the depth that you've stopped retrieving it as well. So and brim love them for some reason. So multi-million-dollar industry every year all over the world, especially in Australia for lures. Might have to bring out the purple coloured lure. They work quite well for them as well. Still no bites. I think they've gone off. That's a good cast. A very good cast. Good work. What I did there was a little bit of a pendulum cast. You build up the lure speed on the back cast and then cast it forwards, and it's got a lot more tension and a lot faster line speed to get it to move faster. Now with your techniques for brim, you can also use them for redfin perch and trout and all of the East Coast species. Obviously Murray cod are a different proposition because they're a much larger fish. Yeah, the river has dropped from here to here, fam, while we've been here, so don't usually do too well when we've got an outgoing tide. So let this get right on the bottom now. I'll let it sink a bit more. Oh, get out of there. All right. Well, I'm just going to plonk this on here. Nah, nothing, Steve. We dropped a horse of a fish before. Stream wasn't even running though. That's how my luck's going today. But look, that's okay. We'll come back tomorrow morning, people. Mornings are obviously the best time because as soon as the tide dropped to a certain level, we even stopped getting bites on the baits. So let's have one last cast, see if we can end the day with the fish, but we're just about done. That's a really good cast right there. That's on the money. Now I'm going to sit down here for this one, right? So just give me a second. I'm not going to obstruct your view. That's right, Steve. Excuse me. All right. So, bird's eye view of the rod tip, people. Let's see what's happening, eh? Well, you've caught more fish than me today there, Steve, even if it was from a store, you know. Now notice, and I'm not lifting that rod tip up to put tension on the line. I'm just lowering it each time. It's just been a bit of a disaster. So if we're patient, we might be lucky and get one fish at the end of the day. If being a very powerful word, people. And the other one's still going, wow. So I'm just going to patiently sit here, but the tide is, I don't know whether you can see just behind the glare, but the tide is moving out at a rapid rate at the moment, people, so I'm not expecting to get any bites at all. Oh, come on, what was that? No, nothing, the tide's going out. Sorry about the glare from the sun, fam, but that's just how it is at the moment. I'm just going to have to get out of here in a second. Oh, Steve, If I told you the headaches I've had today with the streaming, mate, you wouldn't believe me. I tell you, you would not believe me. And I don't have the patience of a saint, because as General Custer said, sometimes, what did he say? A violently executed plan now is better than a well thought of plan delivered later. And then Geronimo cleaned him up with his Indian mates. So yeah, didn't work out too well, but he still said it. You know. Yeah, that's out of it. All right, people. Well, look, I'm not going to make the mistake I did in Kalbarri when I went up, when I turned the stream off before winding in the line. Right. You know what? What was that? It wasn't me. Should have seen it. The rod went off and I thought the stream was still on, and I set the hook and this fish has dived straight into the snags. Then I looked up at the laptop and it was buffering, and I went, oh no. Sure enough. But tomorrow will be a different day, and tomorrow we'll try something different. Okay. Rightio, people, I'm going to pack up, so I'm going to take the chance. Thank you very much. Stay safe and stay well. Sorry about the disastrous stream today. I mean, we've got two going at the same time. God knows how. Right, but tomorrow will be a different day, and we'll try and get it sorted. All right, bye for now.